Hello. Welcome. Welcome to a slightly different kind of stream. I have moved things and rearranged things in some kind of an attempt to do an unboxing. As someone in my chat already pointed out, this is kind of breaking a bit of a rule for me. Do we like this music? Do we want this? Do we need unboxing music? Or should we get rid of it? What do you think? We got the chill, copyright free, no DMCA beats in the background. I could easily turn it off though. You tell me if you like it or not. Watch what happens when I turn it off. Or listen. See, it's gone. You can barely hear it. I can turn it up a bit. Or I can just get rid of it. I don't know. What do you think? A little bit. We'll leave it on. We'll leave it on. I mean, I've got these headphones on. I need to have the head. So here's the thing. I'm away from my usual mic because I've moved things around. So, because right now what you're hearing is me, is not the Elgato mic I usually use, but just the boom mic here on the A50 Astro A50 headset that I use. So yeah, let's leave the music on. It's so nice to be able to stream music and not worry about getting into trouble. I'm kind of enjoying. Turn it. Okay, everyone says keep it, but turn it down slightly. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. So yeah, listen, I've been a bit of a grump about this for a long time. I've always said, oh, unboxing, who cares about taking things out of a box? But it turns out, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not the children who are wrong. Where's that other... Oh, God. What the hell is that? That's going away. No. No. We're not having those alerts. Those are going off. Those are really annoying. Oh, my goodness. How did that even happen? Don't like that. Bye-bye alerts. We're not doing that again. There will be no more alerts on this stream. If somebody subscribes, I will see it and I will shout you out. But we're not doing any more alerts. Those are really annoying. Yes, as I was saying, maybe it's not the children who are wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Gary, would you ever do a live reading of your Rogue 2 story? Funnily enough, I actually asked the good people at Del Rey if I would be allowed to do that. And I'm waiting to hear back. If obviously, it's not, I would need their permission to do so. But if they get back to me and say yes, I will do it. I will do it on stream. I'll read you my story. I thought that might be quite fun to do, but I need their permission to do so. So I actually did send an email to them asking and suggesting that very idea. Waiting to see back if they would like me to do that, or if they say no, fuck off. I don't know. If they tell me to fuck off, then I will gladly do so. But yeah, for the longest time, I've not really been a big fan of unboxing videos, and yet at the same time, one of my favorite channels on YouTube is an unboxing channel, Unbox Therapy, and now so here I come before you like a dollar store Lou later to do an unboxing. Now I don't have really a good setup to do an unboxing, so all I've really done here is kind of move some things. If you could see what my setup looks like right now, it's a mess. I've twisted and moved all the monitors around just to clear off this little bit of desk space here. Usually there would be another monitor here, but I've pushed it back, and then this other monitor's gone over here, and I've moved everything around to try to create a suitable unboxing environment. And again, so everything's a little bit different. Usually the camera would be pointing more over there, but I've moved everything over this way in an attempt to try and create a bit of unboxing space here. Maybe in the future, if this is super duper popular. There's already 253 people in the chat, which is more than I usually get. Maybe these unboxing kids are onto something. Maybe I need to get more into the unboxing business because clearly it's the future. I'm going to be terrible at it because I don't understand the point of unboxings, and yet here I am. I'm going to do one for you because the PlayStation 5 did arrive today. It's a big boy. It's right over here. I'm going to get to it in just a moment. It's a big boy, and I thought, well, I'm going to unbox it. Maybe some of you would like to see it because maybe you want to know more about the PlayStation 5. Maybe you want to know more Maybe you want to see if it really is as ridiculously large as it appears to be. Well, we're going to find out. And I also have, for comparison purposes, an Xbox Series X and the box that it comes in, all that kind of stuff, so we can kind of see all of it. We'll go on this mission together. And I have a knife. I have my trusty unboxing knife. This is what I use to do all my off-stream unboxings, and it's making its stream debut here. Let me tell you, this knife does not fuck around. This is a proper knife, and I'll be using that in just a moment. So I've got my little unboxing surface. I've got my monitor here where I can see the chat. Why does fuck Siri just shut the fuck up? The technology is so bad. Why does Siri think I don't want to talk to you right now? Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, putting that away. Stop it. Yes. So, okay. So, yeah, it would be nice to in a different world where I was like better positioned. I would have a whole table surface here, and you wouldn't just be looking at the sad little corner of my desk. But it's what I was able to put together very quickly, kind of, I decided to do this unboxing about 5 minutes ago. So, there's not a lot of thought or planning gone into this, much like everything I do, frankly. I'm even going to turn that music off because I can hear it. I don't really need it. You'll be able to continue to hear the music, but I've decided to turn it off. If for whatever reason the music at some point displeases you, let me know. I'm just going to wheel over here real quick. I've got a tasty drink. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to put that over here. I don't want to spill anything. Is there any way I can make my text bigger so I can watch this chat without being quite so? I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. Can you do that? Is there a way to make that? Oh, settings. Here we go. Chat settings. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, that's actually just for like moderation and stuff. Like, there's no way to just make the text bigger in Streamlabs. That would be nice though. Review unban requests. Well, I'm certainly not going to do that. If you've been banned, you've been banned. I'm not going to unban you. Why would I do that? I'm sure there was a perfectly good reason why I banned you in the first place. No amount of weaseling or going, oh, I didn't really mean to call you awful or anything like that is going to get you out of it now. Switch to non-mod settings. I don't know. None of this. That's just Diet Coke. There's nothing exciting going on. First of all, let me take a moment to acknowledge people in the chat. The Indie Boy, Raw Dog 45. I never know how to say that name. Actually, I'm better off without my glasses, it turns out. Heiji Hyuga, Max, Jonathan. Why are you calling me? I can't talk to you. I mean, everybody wants to talk to me as soon as I start fucking streaming. Leave me alone. Rainbow Burger, Canuck for Life, Shane Station 64, Boodle Bordan TV. I see you all coming in right now. My dad loves you, says Rainbow Burger. Well, I mean that makes me feel very old, but I appreciate it. I'll accept love from just about anybody. Thank you so much for bringing me that message. Yeah, so I guess we'll see how this goes. This is something a little bit different. But apparently some of you want to watch this because there's a bunch of you here. So it's been a big week, obviously, in technology. It's been a big month. How is the new Logitech chair? Oh wait, since you ask and since the camera's set up this way, this is the Logitech gaming chair, and very, very fancy. It is too. Thank you again so much to the good people at Logitech for sending me this ridiculously luxurious $1,500 gaming chair, which is also, I think, quite tasteful and has the benefit of not looking like it's just been ripped out of a drug dealer's sports car. This is, I think, it's a very nice chair, and it's also super duper comfortable. And what I like about it is when you sit down on it, it just kind of disappears behind you. There's no like extravagant look at my big loud obnoxious chair. It just kind of disappears, and it is very, very, the lumbar support. It's just really. I did a whole stream on it when I first got it, and it really is quite wonderful. I like it a lot. So yeah, it's a really nice chair, and I do like the back of it very much. It kind of looks like like it's all very. It really is just based on the Herman Miller M body design, except when you go around the back here, and then they kind of added this kind of almost like a Borg cube, kind of cyan teal kind of endoskeleton thing on the back, which is very very pleasing. Other than that, the branding, as you can see, like that little Logitech G there, like that's about as obnoxious as it gets. I certainly like that. So it's a nice chair. It's the time of year when gadgets come out and good things happen to people who like shiny things. What have I got here? Well, this is not terribly sexy, but here's the new iPhone. This is the iPhone 12 that I got in the cool blue. I like that very much. Very excited about the blue chair. Sorry, the blue chair, the blue phone, blue chair. Everything's blue. And so yes, it's next gen week, basically. It's next gen. See, you can see why I don't do these kind of streams because I'm terrible at it. I have no idea what I'm doing or what I should be doing next or anything that's really going on right now. And yet, here I am struggling, trying to get through this. It's next gen week. As we know, both the big new. I don't know if this typically happens. I know that the new consoles generally come out around the same time of the year, but I don't know if they're ever in such close proximity where you're basically 48 hours apart. Oh, you got the mini? Bravo, Jade. I'm really interested to know. Come back into the chat after you've got it and let me know what you think of the iPhone 12 mini. It wouldn't be for me, but I'm really, really interested. I'm curious to see like what the iPhone 12 mini looks like. I think it's cool that they made the little one. Now, a lot of people just want like a little phone. They don't need to have the big jumbo size phones, and they just want one that'll actually fit in their hand. So come back and let me know what you think of the iPhone 12 mini after you've had a chance to play around with it for a little bit. Gary, you're getting distracted. Yes, welcome to my stream. That's what happens on this stream. I go off on tangents. And look, now you've distracted me again because now I'm going to go off on a tangent about how I go off on tangents. The best thing to do if you want me to get to this is just let me get on with it. Or I could just keep looking at the chat and getting distracted by lots of different things. Yes, the 12 Pro Max. That's what my wife loves the Pro Max, and in fact, she has her Pro Max coming tomorrow. It's too big even for me. Even I'm like, come on, who seriously? What is this little blue thing? What the fuck is that? Where did this come from? Oh my god, now I'm worried that this is like snapped off of something, and I'm not going to know what to do with it. What is that? Is this even going to work if I hold this up? What is that? What the fuck is that? It's a little blue thing. I don't know what that is, but now I'm a little bit worried that that's broken off of something, and I don't know what. I don't think it's from the chair. Is it a piece from the back of the chair? I don't think so. It's not the same blue. Or is it? I don't know what that is. Anyway. Maybe it is part of the chair. Where would it have come from, though? I didn't do anything. All I did is stand up. Don't tell me this chair's falling apart already. It's far too nice for that. I don't know what the fuck that is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a tiny little piece of blue plastic. Interesting. Now I'm going to be like, oh, what the hell? This chair's going to collapse underneath me. I'll keep it. Maybe it slots back into something. Okay, so, where was I? Oh yes, we're gonna unbox something. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my little drawer of just in case things. Here, it's in my little drawer there. My secret drawer. What else is in my secret drawer? Ooh, all kinds of things. You're not allowed to look in there. Far too secret. What is next to the clock? Oh, that's a hypno cube. It's like a cuboid arrangement of LED lights, and they go off in various patterns, and it's quite pleasing. I don't know if this looks better. Let me roll over here real quick. Does it look better with the light on or off? I can turn off the main light. Maybe that looks a little bit better. Yeah. Okay. We'll do it that way. I don't know. Is it better with the light on or off? Off? Okay, you're saying off. All right. Okay. Oof. Off. Okay. Off. I can't hear the music anymore because I turned it off. But I can see that it's still going through here. Okay. So yes, as I was saying, very interesting, very exciting week for next gen console fans. And I see my lovely wife Leah Witter here is in the chat. Thank you for stopping by, Leah, and she'll be moderating and keeping people in line. Be nice, or Leah will step on your face. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. Has there been a time in console release history where the two consoles basically came out like on or about like the same day or the same week, like in such close proximity? I don't know. So I would have to check the history books on that. But certainly it's happened this generation with the Xbox Series X and S coming out on Tuesday, and here we are on Thursday, a mere 48 hours later. The PlayStation 5 has arrived. And those of you who follow me on social media will know that I am one of those people that likes to have the new shiny toys on launch day. I'm just stupid like that, and I'm very fortunate that I'm quite wealthy, so I can afford to buy myself, toys and gadgets and things when the opportunity. I'm going to say need, because it's certainly not a need, but when the opportunity arises. And let me also say I'm very grateful for that. I've worked very hard, but I've also been extraordinarily lucky in my life to have gotten to a point where I could afford to buy nice things for myself and my family and people I care about. It's very, very nice. And so, but you still have to be, just having the money is not always enough. You've got to be also a little bit lucky in order to get these things. I was up very early when the Series X first became available for pre-order. Hammering on those pre-order buttons, and the same with the PlayStation. And as you know, the PlayStation 5 in particular was a real clusterfuck when it came to the pre-orders. They just, they said they were going to announce it and handle the pre-orders in a orderly fashion, but then it was a complete clusterfuck. It was like, oh, guess what? The orders are they're now open. They just surprised everyone. So everyone just suddenly ran to their web browsers, trying to order one from like Walmart or Amazon or Target or Sony directly, just about anywhere. Do you know about the new Twitch merch? No. Is there new Twitch merch? They haven't sent me any. I have no idea. Is there new Twitch merch? Someone wants to ask me about my Astro A50 headset. I love this headset, and I don't say that just merely because they sent me a free one. Like, they did send me this headset, and I am part of the Astro Collective. It's a kind of influencer group that Astro does. But if I didn't like the headset, I would just use something else instead. I would rather buy a headset that I really like than use one for free that I don't. But as luck would have it, I really like this headset a lot. Oh, someone has an answer for me on the console thing. This is the closest release between new gen consoles. 2 days. Xbox One and PlayStation 4 released a week apart. The Wii and the PlayStation 3 were also a week apart. Okay, so this is 48 hours apart. This is the closest next gen release there's ever been. That's exciting. Yeah, we're all still just like getting over the hullabaloo of the Series X and Series S release, and now here's the PlayStation 5. So that's very, very exciting. Did you miss the unboxing? No, I've been prevaricating and dawdling and beating around the bush here and not getting to it. Just kind of talking about the general excitement and all the things that are happening in the world of next gen consoles this week. It's all kicking off. And so let me do this first. Let's try. Okay, so here first of all, let's start in the order that these things were released. Here is the Xbox Series X, and let me make it look pleasing for you. There it is, and very nice it is too. The interesting thing is, and I've commented on this a couple of times, though the consoles have been released together in very close proximity, they could not be. I don't think there's also ever been a time in console history where the two main consoles, Nintendo is just like out there doing its own thing. I don't really count them. Like they're brilliant and they're actually my favorite, but like they just are off doing their own thing and don't really give a shit about what other people are doing. So when you think about like the two main consoles that are in opposition, these days it used to be Nintendo, Sega. Now it's Sony and Microsoft. They usually have typically not looked that terribly different from one another. Like black rectangular slabs, one slightly boxier than the other, and the other one slightly more angular than the other. This year, this generation, they fucking went all out to be different. Microsoft leaning very, very hard into the brutalist, almost Albert Speer-esque design of the Series X, where it says, okay, look, it's a box. What do you want? It's a box. It's an angular box, and it is about as boxy and as brutalist and as straightforward and you know, reductive in its design as it could possibly be. Like literally there's no real features on it at all, other than, you know, the power button that, you know, is the disc slot. And I really do wish, and I hope they still do, make a discless version at some point. Does the disk drive work on your Series X? I mean, I don't know. I hope so. It should, right? I mean, but I don't know, and I might never know. I would say there's a better than 75% chance that I never find out, that I never even put a disc in this drive. Because why would I do that? I'm not going to buy a game on a disc. I don't do that. I buy games digitally, and I don't really watch 4K Blu-rays anymore. I mean, I have some, but I'd probably been more than a year since I bought a 4K Blu-ray. Everything now to me is just digital. I'm very fortunate that I have a super duper fast internet connection, and so everything I just buy digitally. I don't want boxes, you know, cluttering up the house anymore. I would rather just have everything digital. So I presume it works. I honestly don't even know why you're asking. Have there been some issues with the Xbox Series X disk drive? I don't know. A lot of the disk drive issues people have been having reflect what happened on my. I don't. So people have been having disk drive issues. First I've heard of it. Now that you've told me that, maybe I'll put a disc in there just to try. But like again, honestly wouldn't even care if this thing didn't have a disk drive. I'm almost certainly never going to use it. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario where I would buy a game on a disc or put a disc movie in there. And some of you may very well be saying, oh, well, I don't like digital games. I like the comfort of knowing I have a physical disc and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. You do you. My personal choice is I don't really like discs anymore. I don't want them cluttering up the house. I'd rather own everything digitally. So this little slot here is really just I don't know what to tell you about it. So that's the Series X, and yes, here we are theoretically doing a PlayStation 5 unboxing, but I brought this out because, you know, it also came out this week, and like, look at this. This is what I like. Check this out. I do like this, and it actually shows up really well on the camera. The green effect. Watch this. Ooh, and then it goes away again. It's almost like a breathing effect. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Very nice. Very, very soothing. I do like that effect. This is really their only, Microsoft's kind of one. And it's not that it's not, didn't bother to design it. They chose to design it in this very minimalist way, and I like it. And you know, this green top with this kind of artificial breathing effect that it creates is really their one concession to kind of like, you know, a design flourish. But I like it. I think it's very cool. But the reason why I have this here is because again, this is not just PlayStation 5 week, but Xbox week. And I am by nature just slightly more of an Xbox guy than a PlayStation guy. I don't know. I just like it slightly better. But I like both. I had a PlayStation 2, 3, 4. Now I have a 5. And I've had all the Xboxes as well. So like, I'm very much an agnostic console gamer. I just go where the games are. And I'm not like a tribalist, you know, console warrior kind of person. If I had to make a choice, if I had one, I would rather have the Series X and the PlayStation 5. But I have both, and I'm very glad about it. So this is here just for kind of like size comparison perspective reasons. Did it come with an HDMI cord? Yes, it did. It comes with a very fancy, I believe, an HDMI 2.1 cable, so it'll do all the 4K 120, all the shit that you need it to do. In fact, Microsoft specifically said to me, make sure that when you hook it up, you use the cable that came in the box. Don't use like whatever fucking Amazon Basics cable you might have sitting around. Use the one that we pack in, because it's a really, really high grade, ultra high speed cable, and that's the one you're going to want to use. So that's the one I'm using. So this is the Series X. As you can see, there's a little base plate on the bottom that when if you do decide to orient this thing horizontally, as some people have chosen to do, they like to, some people will put it that way, then this little base plate is going to be visible on the side. This doesn't come off. even when it's oriented horizontally like this. And so I've been told that the reason why this plate is here is to create like a little bit of airflow underneath the box. Do you play games on a monitor or TV? Both. In the living room, I play games on a TV. Down here, when I stream, I play games on a monitor. So a bit of both, really. So this is the Series X. I mention it just simply because I have one here. Thought you might like to see it. It's Xbox launch week as well as PlayStation launch week, but also for comparison, because when I get the PlayStation out in just a moment, we'll be able to put the both of them next together. And again, there's nothing aside from like the specific kind of Witter angle on the content. I don't even know what that is. Just wasting your time, basically, like blathering on and not getting to the actual thing you want to see, which is unboxing the PlayStation 5. There's not really a lot of point to this stream, because you like, if you type in PlayStation 5 or Series X unboxing into YouTube or whatever, or Google, you're going to see a million fucking streams. A million of them. Greg's done one, Tim Geddes, everyone at Kind of Funny's done one. Snowbite Mike did his Xbox unboxing. So why you're watching this, I honestly don't know. It's not like I've got some special fucking PlayStation 5. I've got the same one everyone else has got, presumably. But you know, maybe you want to watch this one. I don't know. 406 of you currently do, so you know, I respect that. Here is the Series X. We're going to put that again to one side. We'll get back to that in a moment. I am going to do the PlayStation 5, but also I also kept the box, because we can compare the box size as well. Here's the Series X box, and I've got something to say about this in a moment, about the 1 terabyte designation there. We'll get to that in a moment. I give Sony. Fuck off, Siri. I don't care. I don't care. The reason why you're having trouble hearing me, Siri, is because I'm not fucking talking to you. Just shut the fuck up. Unbelievable. It's supposed to be 2020, and Siri's still fucking popping off, inserting itself into conversations. Shut the fuck up, Siri. You're out of your element. Now, let's get back to this. This is the Series X box. Okay. Here is the Xbox Series X. Here is the Series X box. Not confusing at all. But there's, again, just purely for comparison purposes. This is the Series X box. This, and I know this is the moment you've been waiting for, Jesus Christ, fucking hell, is the PlayStation 5 box. Maybe I should put these next to each other the other way around so you can actually fucking see the two of them together. Holy shit. Okay. They're for comparison purposes. Honestly, let me tell you something. Nothing can prepare you. You've seen all of these memes. You've seen all of this stuff on the internet about how big this thing is. And I haven't even got it out of the box yet, but just based on the size of the box, I mean, you tell me. You tell me. I'm going to push this back a little bit so there's more room. I'm going to try and get a little bit more of this in here. Yes, very, very large indeed. I mean, just purely in terms of the packaging, this thing is a monster. Just an absolute monster. The volume looks about the same. You've got to go get your fucking eyes tested. If you look, I don't know, maybe the perspective on the screen makes it look weird, but no, the volume is not in any way comparable. It is definitely thicker. I mean, look, let me put it this way. Here is the side of that, and here is the side of the. Now, this one is definitely thicker. Maybe in terms of volume, it's not like double the volume, but I would say my guess is 50% bigger in terms of just the packaging. I would say it's 50% bigger. I may well be wrong, but that's just like my eyeball gut reaction. But before we actually get into the inside of what's in here, yeah, I mean, that's, you can see just the box size is significant. It's big. It's big. How about weight? I mean, it's hard now because I don't have, this is just an empty box. I don't have the Series X in here anymore. I can tell you that this is, yeah, it's heavy. I mean, I don't know exactly how heavy, but it's fucking heavy. So this is the box that it comes in. I really wanted the digital version for all the same reasons that I just said to you before. Like I don't buy games on disc. I don't really watch movies on disc anymore, except on rare occasions. I really wanted the digital version. I would have preferred to save the $100. I could not find one anyway. It's £10, 2 ounces. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean it feels it as well. It's like the size of a big baby, a very big baby. Sony has given birth to a very big baby here. 10 pounds and 2 ounces. I would have much preferred the digital version. A, because I don't want to spend $100 on a part that I'm never going to use, but also because I personally think that the design of it, the kind of the inward, the kind of concave design of the digital version, just looks way better and more aesthetically more attractive than this big kind of chunky bulge for the disk drive here. I personally don't like the look of this at all, but you know, it's the only one I could get. So do I expect to get custom fins for my PlayStation 5? No, not really. I don't think so. I'm not that kind of person. This is going to get shoved in a slot where hopefully I'm never going to have to look at it. Because again, when I get it out in a moment, I may have a different view. But based on every picture and video that I've ever seen, personally, my personal taste, I do not like the aesthetic of this box. And that's why it's not going to be like out on display. It's just going in a slot, and I'm going to there'll be enough airflow for it, but I'm going to push it somewhere where I don't have to look at it. Neon Taupe, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Very much appreciated. Oh, so here we actually have some cubic liters. Series X 6.9 cubic liters, and the PlayStation 5 with the disc 7.2. So I guess by volume, it's not terribly different, but when you put the two, we'll just do it in a moment. We'll put the two things together, and we can decide. So here's the box. This is the one thing that I want to give Sony credit for. On the Xbox here, you'll notice it says on the box 1 terabyte. You don't get 1 terabyte. As we all know, you have to shave off a bit of that. So I can't remember exactly what it is in terms of usable space, but you've got to shave the better part of 100 gigs off for the UI and everything else. I'll give you one example, for the 1 terabyte expansion card that they sell, which I bought, the Seagate expansion card, 920 gigs of usable space. 80 gigs of that, God knows what that's being used for. It's a fucking expansion card. There's no UI or interface or firmware on it or anything. It's the box volume. Okay, I see what you mean. So 1 terabyte is what's advertised on the box, but it's not actually what you get in terms of usable space. I will give Sony credit for advertising on their box 825 gigs, which is what you actually, I believe, get. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Wait, maybe they don't get any credit. The PlayStation 5 HD is 825 gig. The usable size is 660. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucked up. I don't like that at all. That's really annoying to me. I assumed that they were actually trying to be the good guy here, and it was a 1 terabyte drive with 825 of usable space, which is why this very specific number was on the box. But it's actually an 825 gig drive with about 600 and change of usable space. And on top of that, I found this out yesterday from talking to Jeff Gersman, that unlike the Xbox Series X, which launched with an official approved full spec, quite expensive, and nevertheless available at day one, the Seagate 100 gigabyte, or 1 terabyte, I should say 920 gig expansion thing, which just slots right in the back, and it's super duper easy to do. It literally takes you 1 second to do it. Not only does the PlayStation, in order to do that, you've got to take the fucking lid off and get in there with a screwdriver. But there isn't, as far as I'm, this is what Jeff Gersman told me yesterday, there isn't even that option available at launch. There is not yet an official approved expansion SSD that is full spec as fast as the one that is built in here. So until that happens, until those storage companies come up with, you know, some kind of approved solution that Sony, you know, says, gives the thumbs up and says, yes, go use this one. You're not going to fuck up your warranty or your system or whatever by plugging it in, and you go spend that $200 or whatever. And until that's available, and you're willing to get the screwdriver out, you're going to be stuck with about 600 gigs of usable space. And bear in mind, and again, I'm just going by what Gerstmann told me. Like, if let's say for example you put Call of Duty Cold War on there when that comes out tomorrow, 200 gigs. That's a third of your storage gone. Boom, straight away on one game. Come on now. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Sony has not approved any drives, but they are available. It's great that they're available. Again, for someone who doesn't really like to fuck around, I would rather hear Sony say, yes, this gets our stamp of approval, the way that Xbox did with the Seagate one. At that point, I'll feel comfortable opening the thing up and putting the drive, especially since you actually have to open the thing up. The thing on the Series X is great because it really is just a slot in the back, and you go and you take the little thing and you go, and it's done. It took me 1 second. For this, I've got to open up the lid, get in there, I think with a screwdriver, and fuck around with the internals in order to get this thing up to, you know, I think what is ultimately a more acceptable amount of solid state hard drive space. And again, until that official list comes out, I'm not going to be comfortable doing it. I'm just going to be putting very few games on this thing, I think, which is fine because, you know, it's a launch console, and just like with the Xbox, there are very few games that you really, really want to get your hands on right now, at least in terms of exclusives. You know, when you get into the third-party games, yeah, you're going to want to put COD Blops on there. You want to put Assassin's Creed on there, and you know the other big games. Fall Guys, of course, yes, absolutely has to go on there. That's a relatively small install. Yes, and that's the other point. Stinky Pete points out the other thing that I heard is that right now that upgrade slot, until they do a firmware update, that upgrade slot for the internal drive is not even active yet. So they need to do a firmware update on that. Xbox had that day one. So I was actually, what a narrative, what a twist. I went from fully attempting to give Sony props for properly advertising how much usable space there is, to realizing that this is in fact also bullshit, and I can't even upgrade it yet, at least not internally. So I went from desperately, actually, because some people go, oh Gary, you're like an Xbox fan and you never want to give Sony any props. I was trying to do it. Because I thought I had it right. I thought Sony was doing the right thing here by advertising the usable space. No, it's actually just a smaller drive, and the same bullshit applies. Not a big fan of that. And I'm especially not a big fan given that there is no official internal upgrade path available right now. The drives may be there. The firmware update to install them is not. External drives may work. Maybe that's good. I don't know. But yeah, Microsoft, I think, has, in terms of like the storage and the external storage options that are available at launch, got to give that one to Microsoft. In the meantime, let's go back to the really fun part of this. Yes, this is a big box. It's a big box. 8K. Don't have an 8K TV, so that's not really going to apply. 4K 120. I don't think my TV does 4K 120. I think in order to use 4K 120, if you want 4K resolution and 120 frames per second, you're going to need like a real cutting edge brand new TV. I have a pretty good LG OLED that is a couple of years old at this point. Doesn't do this. Does HDR. It'll do 4K 60. It won't do, I don't believe it will do 4K 120. You're going to need like a hardcore dedicated gaming monitor, or a really, really brand new TV. I do have a 4K TV. It is a LG C7, which I think is the model from like a couple of years ago. And it does have HDMI 2.1, but I don't think it can do the super high frame rates. I think you need like an LG CX or something super brand new and sexy for that. I just said I have an LG C7 65 inch, which is a very, very nice boost up the light a little bit. It gets a little bit brighter so you can see this better. Very, very nice TV, but it certainly doesn't do 8K because like almost no. Oh, the C7 is 120 hertz. Well, that's good to know. I wonder if it's all. I wonder if that's on all HDMI ports. If I have to make sure that it's plugged, because like sometimes on these TVs they only have like one HDMI port that does like all the sexiness, and the other ones are kind of downgraded. I'm not sure if on the C7 that I have, if all the HDMI ports are created equal. Anyway, I'll mess around with it. Um, let's unbox this thing. Should we actually do what this stream promised to do about a fucking hour ago? Maybe. Maybe we should. Oh, it has a specific HDMI 2.1 port. See, I'm going to have to... So I've got two boxes now. A Series X and a PlayStation 5. Both of which require HDMI 2.1 to get all the gubbins. And if I don't know, I'll have to research this, if my LG C7 has multiple ports that will support that. Because if it's just one, I'm going to have to decide which one I want to plug into the kind of the mother of all ports to get, you know, unlock the potential for those super high frame rates. And if it's gonna have to be one or the other, it will be the Xbox, because I will almost certainly end up playing more games on the Xbox than the PlayStation 5. But I'll look into it. So yeah, and again, I don't know about HDMI switches either. I have one. I actually have one here that I was thinking about using. This is an HDMI switch. I'm not going to take it out of the box right now. I didn't need to, but I got this little switcher here. One HDMI port goes in the front, two out the back, and there's a little button here that switches back and forth between the two. But I don't know what the specs on this little switch are. What if this ends up being like a throttle? And then you need another 2.1 cable coming out the other side. Everything has to be 2.1 all the way through, including through all the switches. The more bits that you add between the PlayStation or the Xbox and the TV, you know, the more chance there is for your signal to get kind of downgraded at some point along the way. All right, so please don't use the term master race in this chat. I don't like it. I actually need to go into Nightbot and add that to the list of banned terms. I think it's not a term that I'm a fan of. Let's unbox this. Let's get down to it. Yeah, I'm not going to use a switch. The one thing I would like to know, I do need to research, is will my LG TV, can it do 4K 120 on multiple HDMI ports, or is there just one that will do it? In which case I need to decide which one's going to get, you know, the Ninja port, and again, it will probably be the Xbox, but we'll see. Okay, let's open this thing up. Let's snap this knife open and start cutting. Okay. I mean, look at all these features. Breathtaking immersion. Harness the power of a custom CPU and SSD with integrated I/O that rewrite the rules of what a PlayStation console can do. That sounds good. Breathtaking immersion. Discover a deeper gaming experience with support for haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and 3D audio technology. I'll say this, I haven't tried it yet, but everything that I've seen and everything that I've heard suggests to me that I think there's going to be there's not going to be one clear winner of this console generation, just like there hasn't been in a long time. I mean, I guess PlayStation 4 was pretty much the clear winner. Xbox One, they kind of fucked up a little bit. It took them a while to kind of regain their ground. But this generation, I think it's going to be much, much closer. And, you know, there's going to be, well, if you want this, Xbox better. If you want that, PlayStation's better. I've always preferred, and here it is. Let me just hold this up for you right now. I've always preferred, one of the reasons why I like the Xbox is I like I was just always preferred the Series X controller or the Xbox controller over the DualShock. I've never ever liked the DualShock. Part of the reason for that is I prefer offset sticks, but I just like the feel of it in my hand. Better battery life, just for me, just a better controller all around. And this year, one of the big diversion points between Sony and Xbox has been Xbox were like their attitude was basically, well, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's just do a couple of little tweaks to the Xbox One controller that everyone loves so much. And I understand it's subjective. A lot of people prefer the DualShock. I'm not telling you which controller is better. I will never tell you what is better. I will just tell you what I personally prefer. And that's all you can ever do. And that's why all these console wars are basically a waste of everyone's time and energy. This is better, that is better. No, there's no better. There's just what you personally prefer. If you prefer the Xbox, enjoy the Xbox and fucking mind your own business, and let people who prefer the PlayStation leave them alone, and vice versa. That's why I was doing a Xbox Series X stream the other night. I was showing people around some of the Series X games, and someone came into my chat going, "Oh well, PlayStation's better because this and that." Fuck off! I've got no time for people like that. Just fucking let people enjoy what they enjoy. It's like these stupid threads that I see go on and on Twitter. Oh, what's the correct way to cut a grilled cheese sandwich? The correct way to cut a grilled cheese sandwich is whichever fucking way you want. If it's your sandwich, the correct way to cut it is how you want to cut it, and just fucking mind your own business. I don't understand. Are we so fucking bored? Is this what we talk about these days? Anyway, one thing I would say about the one thing that I would say about the Series X controller is again, it really is just a refinement. It's evolution versus revolution this year, I think, with the controllers. They changed very, very little. They changed a tiny amount in terms of the aesthetic. This doesn't come across on the stream, but there's a slightly kind of, especially on the underside here. I wonder if it shows up on stream if I show it really, really close. Kind of a rougher, kind of more sandpapery underside, a kind of a rougher texture. It doesn't really come across on stream, but when you hold it in your hand, you'll instantly go, oh yeah, this has kind of a rougher, kind of grippier feel to it that I really, really like. The share button is nice. I didn't think I was going to use it much, but I can see myself kind of using it. I'm starting to use it more on the PlayStation as well. Playing some Fall Guys is a very shareable game. I've been grabbing some clips with the share button on the PlayStation, and now I can use the share button on this too. And then the one big thing that I'm really pleased with is the new D-pad. If anyone who's ever used the Xbox Elite controller will know that this is kind of a riff on the metal, very luxurious D-pad they have on the Series X. Sorry, on the Elite. This D-pad is, to me, the single best improvement over the old controller. I love, especially if you're using like games that are very D-pad centric. Like I was playing Tetris Effect Connected the other day, and it's just very. I don't know if this will even pick up. Let me try. It's very. I don't know if you can even hear that. And NVIDIA broadcast might be cutting it out, but it's just very, very clicky. The buttons are really clicky and tactile. Like the best analogy that I can come up with is if you think about like a mechanical keyboard with like those really clicky micro switches you used to get on like the old IBM Model M keyboard. That's what this D-pad feels like. It's very, very clicky and very tactile and very satisfying. And when you click on a diagonal, you get a little double click that feels really, it's really, really pleasing. It's really pleasing. And yes, the D-pad is on the Series S. It's the same controller, except it's just white. It's the same controller. Does it feel as light as the one controller? I love the weight of the Elite 2 because it feels luxury and prim. It feels about the same. I actually don't like the Elite controller because I don't like the extra weight. It does feel premium because, it's metal parts and it's fancier, but I actually find using the Elite controller after a long while, my hand starts to get tired using it. That doesn't happen on this one. So weight-wise, to me, it might be like a couple of grams heavier, but it feels basically the same as the Xbox One controller that you may already be used to. Just has a really good feel to it. Really liking it so far. Oh, you know what? I should have brought down the blue one. To show. And I have more delights to show you. Look, this is how my streams are. I understand people going, "Oh, get on with it." If you want to watch someone take a PlayStation 5 out of a box like right now, you can go to any number of YouTube channels and you can see it right now. This, because I got carried away and I ordered a little bit of everything. Didn't take this one out of the box yet. Here's the white. It's called Ghost Robot White. They call it. The Ghost White was the Xbox One white. This is basically the controller you get when you buy the Series S. But they also sold it as its own thing. I like this. So this is nice. There's 3 of us basically in our house that play Xbox games. Me, my wife, and my daughter. So now we each have our own color. I'm gonna have boring black. My daughter has claimed the very cool robot white, which I have yet to take out of the box. But there it is. I like, and again, this is what comes with the Series S. Same controller. As you can see, it does have the same D-pad. And then, I don't know. I got to admit, I didn't think I was going to like it. I kind of like it. This is called Shock Blue. And this is the blue one. As you can see, it's flashing as it's trying to connect to something right now that's not there. This is the blue one. And yes, they do work on PC. They're all Bluetooth. So yeah, they'll work on the PC as well. And then around the back, it's almost got like a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of vibe, right? The only thing I don't love about it is, and I've never liked this, and the Elite controllers do it, and some of the other, more, kind of designed controllers do it, is they take the colors off the buttons, and they replace it with these little. See if the camera will focus on it. Come on, lock in. I have to cover my face for it to work. There we go. You'll notice that the buttons, the XBAY buttons, are all the same. They're all blue. But they put these little yellow, red, green, and blue little dots around the inside, so you can track the colors. But to me, that doesn't really work as well. I like the colors. I know that yellow's on top, X is to the right, red's to the left, and green's on bottom. That's what I like. And sometimes it's nice to be able to just glimpse down and go, oh yeah, like that's where the colors are. That's how it's always been on the Xbox. Some of the very kind of fancy designs, like the Elite controller, don't do that. And this is a perfect example of it. They, as you can see, the button colors are all blue, and you just have these little accents, these little dots that kind of remind you where the colors are. I personally don't like that as much. That's the only thing. I wish they'd have put the 4 regular color. I don't know. Maybe it's from an aesthetic point of view, it's kind of nice to keep it all blue. I don't know why. They decided to put the D-pad in black, and then you've got, like I said, this really nice kind of white accent color on the back. This is what my wife claimed. She likes the blue controller. So if all 3 of us are playing games, it's nice to know whose controller is whose. Like my wife gets the blue one, my kid gets the white one, and I get, just the boring regular black one. And I'm sure there'll be more exciting colors coming down the pike from Microsoft in the near future. There's a lot of Xbox content for a PlayStation 5 unboxing stream, isn't it? I guess that's just the way it goes. Let's unbox this, though. Let's unbox this. This is why we're here. Oh, I didn't read the last thing yet. Okay, breathtaking immersion. Discover a deeper gaming experience with support for haptic feedback. Oh, this is why I got the controller. So, this year, again, evolution. Same thing, slightly rougher feel, share button, better D-pad. That's basically it. The Xbox One controller was already, for me personally, again, like the nib plus ultra of game controllers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And also, I can't tell you how happy this makes me. USB-C. Fuck off, micro USB. You are gone. The next generation is done with you. It's USB-C all the way on both the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller and the Xbox Series S and X controllers. Very, very excited about that. But here's my point. No real revolution in the Xbox controller. They basically stuck with what works, and again, that's good enough for me. Where I'm excited for, where I think PlayStation 5 might have an edge in this particular category, is they really went for revolution with the DualSense controller. The DualShock controllers, the basic shape and design of it has been the same ever since the PlayStation 1. They've changed it a little bit. You know, there was the original PlayStation controller. Then they added the two thumbsticks. Then you got the 6-axis with PlayStation 3, and there was that awful period where you had to kind of do this with all the games. Nobody really wanted to do it, but they like baked it into a lot of the game design to try and get you to do it, even though you didn't really want to. And then of course DualShock 4. But the basic shape, like the silhouette, if you think about like what is the kind of just the silhouette of a PlayStation controller, it basically hasn't changed uh, practically at all until now. When now you've got this, and it's not radically different, but it's pretty different. It's certainly a lot more different than. Do I even have like an Xbox One controller around here? Oh, I've got to show you this. So that new Yakuza game come out. Yakuza, a new. I always makes me think of that. It's my favorite episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when there's that robbery in the convenience store, and each one of them like fantasize about how they would handle the robbery. And for Mac, he does it in the style of like a Steven Seagal type action movie where he kicks the shit out of all these Yakuza assassins. And it's just always, I can't say Yakuza now without saying it the way that Max says it when he goes, "Oh shit, Yakuza!" when he realizes he's actually killed a bunch of Yakuza assassins. And I'm really excited about the Yakuza games. I've never played one, but like every time I see one, I'm like, fuck, I've got to get into like the Yakuza games. And I was thinking about getting into Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and 2, both of which are on Game Pass. But now Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is optimized for Series X, has launched with the Series X, and I've got that installed. I'm excited to start playing it. Maybe I'll stream it. But they also sent me some really nice Yakuza goodies, including this really nice Yakuza bomber jacket that I'm probably going to be wearing. And then there's this nutty, I got to show you, there's this nutty controller. Let's see if we can get it to focus on it. There it is, this nutty Yakuza controller. It's really shiny, and it has this really badass kind of Yakuza tattoo on it. But the reason why I show this to you is simply, and oh yeah, there's like this on the back as well. There's a little bit of branding on the back as well. Yakuza, like a dragon, very cool. But the reason why I'm showing it to you is basically, look, this isn't a Series X controller. This is an Xbox One controller. Xbox One controller, Series X controller, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Again, the D-pad is really, I think, the only super noticeable difference between the two. DualSense, haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, all that bullshit. I actually think that could be a really, really big win for Sony. And they need to come up with better examples. It's almost turned into a joke now. They just want to say, imagine like as you pull back a bow, feeling feel the trigger get more taut as you pull back the bow. Okay, great. That's exciting for games that have bows and arrows. What else can it do? I do think, and I am optimistic that over the coming months and years, we're going to see the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers and some of the stuff that the DualSense can do become like a really cool feature. Like oftentimes when a game comes out on two platforms, I'm like, which one do I want to get? Do I want to get the Xbox version or the PlayStation version? And it comes down to like, you know, a number of different factors. Typically for me, one of the reasons why with a multi-platform game I go towards the Xbox is I just massively prefer the Xbox controller to the old DualShock. Oh, as it turns out, I do have one here in the drawer. Here's the old DualShock controller, which, as you can see, is very dusty because I don't fucking use it, because I don't like the DualShock. It's just sitting there going, "Please use me," to which I am replying, "No, I don't think you're very well designed." But this could be the other way around. Where I'm going to continue to like the Xbox One controller, like that, or the Xbox Series. That's not going to go away. I'm always going to like the Xbox controller. But it could be for the first time since the PlayStation very, very first came out back in the day, that I might. It still doesn't have the offset sticks. That's going to be an issue for me. But like some of the additional features that the DualSense has, it could be once I actually start to use them. I've seen a lot of people. I saw Young, I saw a bunch of people using the adaptive triggers and going, "Oh, this is really fucking cool." I'm totally ready and willing to believe in that and get on that train. We shall see. It said, okay, Kinda Steven says, it is said in Medal of Honor, you will feel when your gun jams and the trigger won't pull back. See, again, just little features like that I think could be really cool. So next time I'm looking at like a multi-platform game, and I'm like, well, I could get this on Series X or PlayStation 5, what's going to make the difference for me one of those factors might be, wow, but the DualSense controller does all this cool shit that this the Series X controller doesn't do. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm just saying I'm open. I'm mentally and emotionally open to that possibility. What was that third-party PlayStation 4 controller you mentioned on XCast that lets you swap the left stick and the D-pad? Oh, I can actually show you that. Hold on. Do I have one here? I think I do. Oh, I do. Okay. So this, and I'm really, really hoping they do a PlayStation 5 version of this. This is the Astro. Let me give it a bit of a wipe because this is a bit dusty as well from being stuck around. This is the this is called the Astro C40, and you'll notice, look at this, it is a PlayStation controller with offset sticks. And the reason why this is kind of the closest thing you're going to get to a PlayStation version of like the Elite controller, because it also has like the paddles and all the extra bits on the back. And this is quite expensive as well. But one of the things that I like about it is it comes in this like cute little box with like a little, all the like different kinds of thumbsticks. You can swap out the D-pad. There's a little tool that lets you kind of open this up. You can have, if you want to have the sticks in the typical PlayStation, like parallel PlayStation configuration, you can do it. This is actually, as Leah mentions, right, this is what she uses when Leah plays PlayStation games. This is what she uses because she hates the PlayStation DualShock 4 even more than I do. And one of the reasons why she does is because you can do this. You need to get this little tool out, but you can basically swap out the D-pad here with the with the left thumbstick, and you can have it be offset or not if you want. So for people that like PlayStation games but really have to have offset sticks, this is a way to go. And I'm really hoping that Astro will do, I guess they could call it like this. This is called the C40. I guess they could call it the C50, where it would basically be their version of a DualSense controller, but you could swap the D-pad and the left thumbstick around to get those that offset stick feel, if that's what you like. If they do that, I will be jumping all over that, because I will always prefer even no matter how much I love this DualSense. Let's say I really love it. Just one thing. Anyone who says get on with it, open the box already, blah blah blah, when is he going to unbox it, why is he like not unboxing it, I'm ignoring all of you people. This is my stream. I paid. Sony did not send this to me for free. I don't get. Sony gives me nothing for free. And Microsoft have sent me free things, and I'm very grateful to them for that. Sony's never given me shit. I paid my own fucking money for this, and I went through the fucking pre-order rigmarole to get it. And this is my channel, my stream. I'm gonna fucking unbox this when I'm goddamn good and ready. If you don't like it, go fucking watch YouTube, and there's a million other people out there that will unbox it like right now. That's your choice. Let me put this back in the drawer here. Okay, so yes, DualSense I think could be a good way to go for developers to experiment with different features and things like that. And we'll see. I feel like, again, there's not a lot between these two boxes in terms of, if you're playing, say, Assassin's Creed or COD Blocks, or one of the Watch Dogs Legion or whatever, one of the popular games that's basically on both platforms, you're not going to see a lot of difference. The Xbox Series X is, I'm reliably told by people that know these sorts of things, like the Digital Foundry type people, the Xbox Series X is slightly more powerful. It also does certain things that the PlayStation 5 doesn't do, like quick resume. Okay, so Jizztop, you are now timed out for the next 10 minutes, because there's nothing more boring than you just keep telling me to fucking open the box. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Maybe by then I'll have opened it. Maybe I won't have. I guess we'll just have to all find out together. Slightly more powerful. Series X, I think, slightly more powerful than the PlayStation 5. Xbox Series X does kind of quick resume and things like that the PlayStation 5 doesn't do right now. I do generally think that the Series X probably has like the overall technical edge, but for the most part, it's so close that it's not going to be the difference why. And if you're going to say like, well, I want the more powerful system, it is. I think it is largely kind of a push. I think the Series X has a slight edge, but it's so little that it's not going to be the reason to get one system more than the other. Quick resume might be, and some of the other features might be. The DualSense controller might be, but it's not. It's not going to be like power overall, like raw power. I don't think. But it may be another. It may be a bunch of other features as well. I do think it sucks that PlayStation 5 doesn't have an answer to quick resume. I'm hoping that there's some way that they can patch something like that in firmware. I don't know if their hardware allows them to do it. Maybe it's something they can do with a firmware update. But they absolutely have to, I think, respond to that feature, because that is a killer feature that Xbox has right now, and PlayStation doesn't have it. Once you've seen it, it's really hard to go back. And so we'll see if Sony has some kind of answer to that in the near future, I suppose. Again, this is at the very beginning of the generation. It's going to take a while for all of this stuff to kind of come into focus, which is the more powerful, which does this and that better. We will see. Does the DualSense live up to all the potential? Again, well, like I remember when they brought out the touchpad for the DualShock. Oh, this touchpad is gonna, completely it didn't do any touchpad. Then people just ended up using it like another button. It didn't really do anything. I believe we are doing another Xcast this week on Friday. Yes, I mean it's Xbox launch week. How can Snowbike Mike and I not talk about that? I believe the plan is to do an Xcast on Friday. Yes, but for right now we are talking kinda theoretically after a fashion about the PlayStation 5. So let's unbox it. I'm actually going to do it now. Let's do this. Oh, I have one more thing to read. Stunning games. Marvel. Oh, I wonder if that's deliberate. Marvel at incredible graphics and experience new PS5 features. Play a back catalogue of supported PlayStation 4 games with system update. I think that's the other thing that is largely kind of a... Oh, hi, Cypher. Thanks for coming by. I understand, Cypher, you got your PlayStation 5 today as well. I saw the pictures that you posted. I'm very happy for you. I hope you flipped it the right way up. I noticed you had it upside down initially. I hope you flipped it back around. I'm also interested to see that you got one at all. I thought I saw you tweeting a while back about how you weren't going to bother, like you weren't going to go out of your way to try and get one at launch. I'm glad you were able to get one. I hope it wasn't too difficult for you to get one. And I hope you're enjoying it. I've never done an unboxing before. Apparently people like it. I usually don't have like 500 people in the chat, but here they are. People like unboxings. Who knew? I guess Lou Later knew. There's like 1 million fucking subscribers. I guess it was obvious to everyone except me. I'm very late to the party on this. So yeah, that brings up another thing where I think in terms of like Xbox, do I want to get an Xbox or a PlayStation? One of the big issues now, given that so many games are out there for these previous iterations of the console, the Xbox One, the 360, the PlayStation 3, 4, and so forth. You want to have access to those games. You don't want to keep all those old consoles around. You just want them to be backwards compatible. And I think now there was the promise of this in the last generation, but I think this is the first time that the consoles have now become powerful enough that they can really do backwards compatibility properly. And I've been very pleased to see both Microsoft and Sony kind of fully commit to backwards compatibility. I think again Microsoft a little bit more so because they're saying you can't just play Xbox One games on your Series X, but you can play 360 games all the way back to the OG Xbox. You can basically play the entire fucking history of Xbox games on your Series X, which is wonderful. The only exception being games that require Kinect, and nobody cares about that because the Kinect was a piece of shit. It's actually, I think it's better that you can't play those fucking games because they were all bad. And then with Sony, again, maybe someone in the chat knows, I know that, so with the exception of just a handful of games, just a handful of weird games that were exempted for some bizarre reasons, you can pretty much play, it seems like you can pretty much play every PlayStation 4 game on your PlayStation 5, which is great, because honestly, even after I plug this in, I'm going to play Miles Morales. That's the one game I'm really excited about playing. I don't really care about Demon's Souls or any of the others, but Miles Morales I'm super duper excited about. Might also play through the PlayStation 5 remaster of the original Spider-Man, because I loved that game. But I don't know, have they said about whether or not you can go back to, could I what happens if I put a PlayStation 3 disc in this drive? or are there PlayStation 3 games available like on the PlayStation Store that I could go get? I don't know how far back. I've simply not done my research. I don't know how far back the backwards compatibility goes on the PlayStation 5, if it is as extensive as it is on the Series X. I don't know. I hope if it's not, if it doesn't go back farther than the PlayStation 4, I do hope that in time they will extend that and get us playing all of the PlayStation library in time. I don't know if that's gonna. It's from what the chat's saying. It sounds like right now that isn't the case. But again, it's only at launch. It's brand new. Maybe they can get there over time. They've got years ahead of them to get this stuff right. Stream with luck. Thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Currently, they've subscribed for 3 months. Currently on a 1-month streak. Again, don't know how you can be on a 1-month streak, but I love the fact that they point it out. Thank you, Twitch. All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. We are doing it. See this? We're doing it. We are doing it. This is always a special moment, I think, when you break the little circular piece of tape that they put here. Like once I've done this, I can no longer eBay it. Right now, I could probably get $2 grand for this thing. Can you believe this? People on eBay charging fucking $2,000 for a PlayStation 5. That to me is so sad. My friend Chastity, who works at GameSpot, tweeted out earlier today that when she went and picked hers up at Best Buy, there was a guy following her offering to pay her $1,000 for her PlayStation 5. That's fucking nutty. Oh my god, these people. All right, here we go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna open this baby up. Let's see. Just the tip. Just the tip at first. I don't know if she stabbed him, Cypher, but she should at the very least have like quickened her step, because that kind of stuff fucking creeps me out. Here we go. We're doing it. I'm gonna get up on the mic here so you can like even hear it as I do it. Oh, we're penetrating the tape. We're doing it. Oh my god. It's done. It's done. Feels good, man. All right, that's it. Can't eBay it now. I'm gonna have to fucking play it. All right. Okay. Ooh, now it's flexible. Now it's floppy. Now it's flexible. All right, does it have? Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, okay. Can't say I'm not unboxing it now after everyone who is who's complaining about me not actually unboxing this thing. I now am actually doing it. Now the question is, what happens next? Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to try not to. Some people like to tear their box apart like a kid on Christmas morning. I don't really like to do that. Oh, I see. Okay, so this. Okay, there's a whole thing that comes out of here. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna let me move this out of the way here. We're gonna move this whole thing up. Okay. All right. Okay. Now. All right. Okay. All right. We did it. We did it. We did it. Okay. We got it out. It's big. It's big. It's so chunky. All right. So this is the empty box that can go somewhere in the future. Where are we? Cypher, we're in my office. I've just twisted my camera around and like rearranged my monitors on the monitor arms a little bit, so that you could see a bit. So I actually had like a flat surface to open the desk on. I'm going to move some of these controllers out of the way also, so that I have a bit more room here to move things around. But let's see if we can make this work. Okay. Yes, only it only took an hour for me to start actually unboxing it. Now this little tab, I think is I'm gonna tease this out here. Ooh, okay, that opens up, and then this little door here. Okay. Oh, there's instructions. There are instructions inside for how to open the box. This is getting very exciting. Okay. Oh, so you lift that tab up. Okay. So I lift that tab up. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, let me just, okay, so, okay. Oh, it's a little thing here. You lift this. All right, I see. Ooh, I see. Okay. Get this out. Okay. Ooh, okay. Now we're getting into the business. Here's a book. Quick start guide. Quite thick for a quick start guide. And then probably some kind of warranty, safety information. Yes, don't eat the PlayStation. You know, don't do stupid things with it. All right, now. Power cable. Okay, so one thing I'll give them credit for, both of the new consoles do this. No power. Remember the Xbox One power brick that was massive? They don't do that anymore. Both of the consoles now just have that, that very simple little two-prong. We have to put it over my face for it to focus on it. There we go. That little two-prong power connector, and then just a two-pin plug, AC plug on the other end. You don't need like the grounded plug. So if you're putting this into a power strip or whatever, no. So the PlayStation has not always had that. The PlayStation 4 Pro has the big chunky plug that goes into the back of the PlayStation 4. This is actually smaller. The PlayStation power cable has been the same since the beginning. No, it hasn't been. I literally just unplugged the PlayStation 4 Pro power cable, and it's a three-prong plug, a big one, big chunky one that goes into the back of it. It's not the same as the PlayStation 4 Pro. I literally just fucking unplugged it. It's not the same. I don't know what you're talking about. The PlayStation 4 Pro does not look like that. Okay, so nice, simple power cable. Again, both the PlayStation and the Xbox have the same very, very simple PlayStation type cable, and I'm very happy about it. There are two versions of the PlayStation 4 with two different plugs. Well, I've got the one that's different to this one. That's all. That's all I'm telling you. Okay. Let's see here. Ooh, what's in here? Ooh, DualSense right on. They put the DualSense right on the top. Here it is. Let me hold this up. Oh, it's very nice. I do like it. Do I have any mods around? Leah's supposed to be in here. Well, I'm not really paying much attention to the chat. Why are people being naughty? Do I have to ban someone? Let's see. Let me go back. Let me just take a quick look. I'm not seeing anything that bad. What's the problem? Don't blow vape smoke in it. Yeah, I'm going to try not to do that. Okay. Oh, Leah's playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so she's in the chat, but she's not really doing too much. Okay. Okay. So, DualSense controller. Let me give you a good close-up look at this. I cover my face; it'll lock in. There you go. So I do. I mean, I got to admit, I like it. I know a lot of people don't like the white. They really don't. They're already the minute they revealed the PlayStation 5 design as having this kind of monochromatic black-white design. People were fantasizing about an all-black version of it. I get that. The PlayStation, ever since the PlayStation 2, has always essentially been black. I think I'm gonna like it. I definitely like it way better. I'm just as I'm kind of getting a feel for it right now. I'll tell you right now. I prefer the Series X D-pad. I prefer the Series X sandpapery feel on the back. Other than that, this is a big improvement over the DualShock controllers that I've used in the past. I think both aesthetically and in terms of how it feels in the hand. I think generally, like I said, for me it was always a big difference between the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation DualShock controller and the Xbox controller. For me, it was like Xbox controller won it easily. Now I feel like at this point, Sony just based on like putting like I can do both like right away. Series X controller, yes, kind of feels like that. DualSense, yeah. I mean, this feels way better than the DualShocks ever did. I feel like it in the kind of the battle for my... Oh, it's flashing blue. I pressed the PlayStation button. Now it's flashing blue, looking for something to connect to. I will connect you soon. Do not worry, little controller. Yeah, definitely closing the gap in terms of the controller wars for me. I feel like I'm going to like this a lot more than the old one. So yeah, and it has a more... Miss Envy makes a good point. It has a more rounded feel to it that makes it feel, aside from the offset sticks, like my thumb naturally wants to go here. My other thumb wants to be up here. It wants the other stick to be here, and it's just not. I don't think Sony's ever going to change that. It's one of the signposts of their design. But I can get used to. I mean, I don't hate it. I just the rounded feel of this controller is much more pleasing to me. How's it compared to the Switch Pro controller? I have one of those here too. Here's the Switch Pro controller, which is another one of my favorite controllers. You know why? Offset sticks. I mean, at this point they all kind of feel much the same. I got to tell you, the Pro controller the Switch Pro controller might actually be my overall favorite. I don't know. I just really really like it. But you know, it's early days. We'll see. We'll see. Um, okay. And I know what you mean about the digital triggers on the Switch. Sometimes you want to have that. You want to have like you want a bit of that analog bendy feel. But other than that, like in terms of how it feels in the hand, the Switch Pro controller is definitely a winner in my book. All right, so that's the controller. We'll set that aside. Oh, Gary, can I tell you one thing I discovered or set? Yeah, yeah. If you've got any pro tips from setting up your PlayStation that can help me avoid any similar, you know, mistakes, please let me know. I'm happy to learn from your experience, having gotten it set up a few hours ahead of mine. Okay, and now let us. Can you open it now, please? You've been milking. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not going to. If you need to walk your dog, go and walk your dog. I will be here when you get back, or watch the VOD at your leisure. I will unbox this when I feel like it, which is, you know, kind of right now, I guess. Let's see. I mean, we're getting there. We're very, very close at this point. Does this come out? This top part comes out. There's more under here. There's more in here. I can sense it. I can sense it. Oh, yes, I was right. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I know what that is. That's the base. HDMI cable. Does anyone know how long this is? The HDMI cable that comes with the Xbox Series X is about, I think, a little more than 6 feet long. Oh, and Cyber's giving me the tips. Hold on. Oh, the first one's already scrolled off the screen. I've got to go look. Okay, number one, no themes are currently available. That's fine. I don't care about themes. I still have like the default theme on my PlayStation 4, I think. Do cloud uploads for any PlayStation 4 titles, saves you want to pull down on the PlayStation 5. They don't transfer by default. Don't my PlayStation 4 saves go to the cloud by default? Do I have to go into my PlayStation 4 and do that? The good news about that is I can do that. We still have the PlayStation 4 Pro connected. I moved it into the I moved it into the bedroom. So if I do need any cloud uploads, like for example my Spider-Man save where I have New Game Plus available, I don't know if it's 1.8 meters. So what is that, like a little under 6 feet? Is it shorter than the Series X cable? It sounds like it's roughly the same. There's probably not that much in it. Anyway, HDMI cable. What else we got in here? So the base came out. That's everything on that side. Is there anything left over here? Sometimes you have to look. Ooh. Okay. Big point for Sony here. Big point for Sony. They included a USB-C cable in the box. Microsoft did not do that. And I'm a little bit annoyed at Microsoft for not doing that. I think the reason why is because, again, one of the big differences between the Microsoft controller and the PlayStation controller is that you can use AA batteries in a Microsoft controller, but you can also just slot in a rechargeable battery. With the Sony, it's rechargeable batteries all the way. There's no AA option, which again, I kind of prefer. Like, we should be moving past AA's at this point. And I don't have it with me. It's upstairs, but I got it. There's a really nice little charging dock. You can charge the PlayStation DualSense controller. The Switch Pro controller is USB-C as well. In fact, it was the first game controller of the big three to be USB-C. Nintendo really led the way with that one. So you can charge this two ways. Plug it into USB-C with the included cable. Thank you very much, Sony. Or you'll notice there's a little connector here as well, a little gold connector. You can get the little charging dock, which costs about $30, and it takes two controllers, and you slot them in like that, and they just sit there, and it's almost like a little display thing. It displays your controllers in quite a pleasing fashion. It's two of them back to back, and it also charges them. And that dock itself, I thought it was going to connect via USB to the PlayStation 5. It doesn't. It comes with an AC power adapter, a power brick. It's funny, the PlayStation 5 doesn't have a power brick. The charging dock does. And that plugs straight into an AC outlet, and that's what charges your controllers. And I thought that was like a nice little... I think that the battery on the DualSense is way better, but especially on the DualShock 4, for me, in my opinion, the DualShock 4 had terrible, terrible battery life. And I was always having to plug it in and fuck around with micro USB cables, and I hated that. I wasn't going to do that this time, so I got the charging dock right out of the gate. So now when I need to find a controller, I know where it is. It's sitting in a very pleasant way on the little charging dock here. My hand is where the charging dock would be, and there's two of them. You can put them front and back like that, and you just grab it right off the dock, and it slots in really easily, and it connects. These little connectors here will start to charge it. So I like that. I really do wish that Microsoft had included a USB-C cable. They obviously didn't feel like it was necessary to. What they give you instead in the Series X box is two AA batteries. They start you off with that. If you want to have rechargeable batteries for your Series X controller, you can pay an extra $25 for a rechargeable battery pack that goes where the AA's do, and that also comes with the USB-C controller. So it's just I don't know if one is even necessarily better than the other. It's just two different ways that they go about it. But I am very, very grateful that I mean, I guess they had to, right? Since there's no AA's, you have to have a way to recharge the controller absent a charging dock, and so they give you the USB cable. One more, I'm always happy to have more USB cables in my house, just because every time I get one of these, it's a micro USB cable that I can throw in the trash where it belongs. All right, so I believe that is everything in terms of the accessories. Let me just toss this over here. So where are we? Let's take a quick. Oh, I gotta get the base out. The base. This is an interesting part of the whole puzzle for me. So here's the base, and I haven't quite gotten used to how this is going to work yet. But this base basically works in two different configurations. It will support your PlayStation horizontally, and it will also support it vertically. And if you really, really want to get into all of that, there is, and I haven't even started with this yet, but I believe there is a little screw in the bottom of the PlayStation that you can use. It goes in this hole here, and you slot it on top, little screw there, and that will hold it vertically. I am not going to be positioning my PlayStation vertically. Because Leah hates the look of it. She really doesn't she doesn't want to see it. She's like, stick it in a fucking cubby where we don't have to look at it. And also because my TV in my living room is not that high up above like the top of the AV cabinet that's below it. There's no way the Xbox Series X will stand up and it will come short of where the TV begins, just underneath it. The PlayStation 5 would like come up like above it and like be like the two prongs at the top of the PlayStation 5 would be obscuring the image. And that's not going to be a problem for everyone, but just the way that my TV is set up, it's too fucking big. So it's going to go in a slot with the stand in the horizontal configuration. I know that you need the screw in the bottom to keep it supported if you want to stand it vertically. I believe I'm right in saying that if you want to do it horizontally, then it's just, I think it's this little clip here that holds it instead. And I'm not, and there's the one thing that I remember seeing in the official PlayStation unboxing video is there's a cute little door here that swivels, that when you're not losing the screw, because nobody wants you to lose the screw, you can put it in this little, you can slot it into this little secret compartment here, and it will keep the screw safe for you. But if you ever decide to orient it vertically, you can always find the screw in the little cubby. Gas Panic says, Gary, did you buy your PlayStation 5 or was it provided to you by Sony? I bought it. This is from Amazon. Okay, that's the stand. So, all right, so everything in the box aside from the actual PlayStation 5, which is coming next, DualSense controller, obviously, USB-C cable, HDMI cable, power cable, and the circular stand, which we'll get to we'll figure out how to orient that later. All right, time for the real thing. Okay, I have to kind of put this down on the ground here to get it out, but let's see. Oh my goodness, how do you do this safely without fucking dropping it? It's so, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. All right, it's out. It's out. The eagle has landed. Oh my goodness, it's big. Okay, so that's coming. I gotta be really, really careful here. I really don't want to fuck this thing up. It feels very fragile because it has these like prongs. Like, I wonder if anyone's managed to like break off one of these prongs yet, or if it's like really, really sturdily built, and that is unlikely to happen. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got all of that together. Let me put these because I'm not going to need these manuals. I know not to eat my PlayStation 5 or fucking, put dishwashing liquid in it. I don't need that. Okay. How heavy is it? I don't know. Someone can look it up, the actual weight of the box. It feels pretty heavy. It's heavy, but I mean, to be fair, how heavy it is doesn't really matter. It's not like it's a fucking laptop. You're not going to be carrying this thing around. It's going to sit on your table or whatever, on your desk or your AV cabinet. It's never going to move. 9.9 pounds. Okay, here we go. Let's try and get this thing unwrapped. I don't even know which way this goes yet, which is the right way up. It's a very weird design. Okay. All right. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we're getting to the good part now. Here it is. Ooh, okay. Oh my goodness, it is a big boy. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. And we're going to stand it up right away. Here, thank you very much for being so patient and waiting, is at last PlayStation 5. And it's very large. What is my first impression of how large this thing is? I gotta say, after all the joking around, it's gonna be a little white here with this microfiber cloth. It's got some dust and bits and pieces on it. This black, the problem with this piano black is that it really shows dust and fingerprints. Like right out of the box, it's fucking dusty as shit. So I gotta give it a little wipe here. Okay. I gotta say, after all the jokes, and I've been at the head of the pack making jokes about how fucking big this thing is. Now that it's actually out, it doesn't seem comically large. It doesn't seem comically large. It's big. It's definitely big. It's a big boy. And for those of you who are interested in the comparison, this is why I brought this down. There's the Series X next to it. And again, I'm sorry, I can't give you a better camera angle because I've got very limited desk space and how I can orient the camera. I'm doing my best. Yeah, it's big. And then let me turn it this way as well, sideways on. Yeah. I mean, it's not even close, right? I mean, it's way bigger. I think. Again, in terms of like on paper, in terms of volume, it may not be massively different, but you look at these two and say which one of these is bigger. You're going to go, yeah, the PlayStation 5, and it's not even close. And of course, radically different design choices and aesthetics as well. You know, again, here's that green. I love this green. Green comes and goes. It's so cool. The very kind of straightforward kind of geometric cuboid minimalist design of the Series X as compared to the very kind of I can only describe it as like contoured and flowing and dusty styling of the PlayStation 5. Power button, eject button, USB A, USB C on the front. I give Sony credit for that. I don't know why. It's a choice. It's a choice that Microsoft made to not have a USB-C port on the front or even on the back. There isn't one. There's two USB A's on the back of this. There's two USB A's on the back of the Xbox as well. And then also on the back here, pretty much all the standard stuff: power, HDMI, Ethernet, two. And then I guess, what is that? Is that a security thing? Is that for you to like run a chain through or something? I don't know. There's a little slot there, and I'm not quite sure what that is. I'm guessing it's a security slot, but I don't know. Chat can tell me. Sony recommends using the USB-C in front for external storage. Oh, why would you want that though? If I've got to plug in an external hard drive, I'm not going to want to see a fucking cable hanging out the front. I would want to hide that shit in the back. Why wouldn't they put the USB-C on the back? That's again, so many weird choices. Okay, it's a Kensington lock. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And the Xbox has that as well. It's here somewhere. It's on here somewhere. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it's right there. They have it. They have it as well. Do you have the wireless Pro X headset? Yes, I do. I haven't used it with this, though. Do you know if the Xbox Series X pushes audio through USB? I don't. I haven't. I literally just got these things. I haven't had a chance to kind of mess around with like weird configurations. The one thing that I did do is I plugged in I have another Astro A50 headset, which I plugged into the Xbox Series X. Leah's been playing Valhalla using the headset, so that works. Can you show us the ports on the Series X? Yeah, let's see. Where are we here? So, you know, fairly straightforward. Power, HDMI the same. Everything's the same. And there's the Kensington lock as well. The only thing that's different is that big storage expansion slot. That's where you slot in the proprietary Seagate 1 terabyte thingamajigger that will give you extra memory storage. And again, I think that's a big win for Microsoft in that they've got a plug-and-play solution for expanded memory out of the gate. PlayStation doesn't yet have that. I'm sure they'll catch up. But for right now, today, Microsoft, I think, is better positioned. I gotta say, I don't hate it as much as I thought I was going to hate it. It's not. Let me get this. Can I? No. In order to orient this thing horizontally, does it need to be on this circular base? And how do you apply this circular base? I don't know. I feel like it just clips on, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. How do I do the base? Maybe I should look in the book. Hold on, let me look in the quick start guide. I don't need the safety guide. That's the safety guide. I do need the, because this thing is not going to be standing up. I'm not having it. It's too much. Okay. All right, let me Oh, okay, I see. All right. Okay. For the horizontal position with the base attached, make sure the hook is in the position as illustrated below before attaching the base to the console. Okay. All right. Place the console with the rear side facing up. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to do that now. We're going to place the rear side. Be very careful here. The rear side facing up. Okay. Align the base with the marked area on the console and press the base in firmly. Okay, so it lines up with the two squares on either side. Okay, so it's like this. All right. Okay, that lines up with the squares. Is that correct? I'm trying to get this. Oh yeah. Okay. It just slots in. All right, almost there. That's one. Now I gotta get the other one. Okay, got it. Okay, that wasn't difficult at all. All right. And press the base in firmly. Is that it? That's it. And now... Oh, yeah. Okay. It's aligned. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you can't see it better. Maybe if I could push this down a little bit more, but then you won't get to see my face, which, you know, maybe is a plus. I don't know. Lots of vents on the back. It's all just one massive vent on the back. Vents all around. It looks like it. Oh shit! The fucking base has come off. Isn't it supposed to stay on? I just picked it up and the base didn't lift up with it. Come on. Let's try this again here. Okay. Okay. Now you're on. Now you're gonna stay on. Okay. Where's the little screw that comes with the bottom? Is it in that little door? Okay. I'm just curious to see how it works. You'll need to reconfigure the base. Rotate the top and bottom part of the base. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it vertically. So, this is going to be horizontally aligned. Do I have it upside down right now? I honestly can't fucking tell. The disk drive goes on the bottom, right? That's the right way up, isn't it? I think. Yeah, PlayStation logo on the top. Yes, of course. And Sony over here. Yeah. These fins are pretty sturdy. I don't think they're going to snap off easily. Well, and again, I mean, I know that you're supposed to have the base under it for the horizontal, for the vertical configurations for airflow. I won't be doing that because again, there's just no way for me to arrange it vertically in my house without it getting in the way of something. But that's pretty much it. It only took me an hour and 45 minutes. And there's 600 people. When's the last fucking time I had 600 people watching a stream? I should unbox things more often, I guess. There's the base, as you can see, attached on the underside. The little door there is where the screw... If I want to get at that screw, how do I open that door? Let's see. I'm curious. Place? Okay. Place your okay. You'll need to refix blah 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 blah. Okay, for the vertical position. Okay, got that. Place the console with the rear side facing up, and then remove the screw cap hole. Oh, there's a little plug that goes in the bottom part of it. That's right. Attach the screw cap hole to the bottom of the base. Remove the screw from the bottom of the base. Do you just is it just your finger or something that opens this up? How do I open this little secret door here? Twist the base. Okay, I'm going to take this up and try it. Twist the base. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, but there's no screw in there, which I presume that means that the screw is already okay. If I take, I'm not going to mess around with this, but if I take that little rubber plug off, I'm presuming the screw's in there, right? That would, and then the little rubber plug goes back on after the. Okay, I'll give them props for that. I do think that's that as much as I don't think you should need a fucking screw, they've done their homework in terms of making sure that you're not gonna actually lose it. So, and again, just one more time here, getting this aligned correctly. I've got the hang of this now. This is it now. Once this goes back on, it won't be coming off because I think this is only ever going to be horizontally arranged. Oh, the screw is in the base? Well, I didn't see it. Did they screw me on the screw? Did I not get a screw? Or is it like really hidden away? Oh no, there it is. Look. There's a little special screw. There it is. There it is. You just have to kind of like rotate it all the way around, and then let's say rotate it back, and then look at that, it disappears again. That's nice. I think that's a cute little design touch. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, this is going to go back on here, and then this goes. Okay, let's make sure that's actually on all the way. Yep, that seems quite good. All right, so I will say this much. After all of my comments and jokes, and many, many comments and jokes that many, many people have been making about how comically large it is, it's large, but it's not upsettingly large. I think we'll get used to it. I think we're just living in an era now where all the consoles, and again, here's the Series X next to it for comparison, are just bigger. You know? That was my first ever unboxing video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot of people in the chat. We should send them somewhere interesting. Let's go raid someone. I'll check to see in a moment who's up and who's streaming. But that's pretty much it. Am I going to stream Astro's Playroom? So here's the thing. This is going upstairs into my living room that I don't stream from. I should theoretically have another PlayStation 5 coming. I ordered one from Target as well. That's not going to get here until next week. If and when that arrives, I will set it up down here in this office, and that will be what I use to stream PlayStation 5 games from. My first game will probably be I'm sure it'll be either Astro's Playroom or Mars Morales. I'm excited. I know that my kid's gonna love Astro's Playroom, and I'm excited about the Miles Morales game because I loved the first Spider-Man game so very much. Just check a couple of things here. Okay, that looks good. Back on its side, just for one last kind of tower of power configuration. Again, there you can see it with the base. I will say this. It's really dusty. It picks up little bits of dust and hairs a lot, and I think it's largely because of this kind of shiny configuration here. You really got to wipe it down. Be prepared. If you're the kind of person that like wants your electronics to look like really shiny and new all the time, buy yourself a microfiber cloth, because trust me, you're going to want one. The Xbox, which is a matte finish, has more of it also has an issue with fingerprints. I think this one does well. Yep, fingerprinty, but not actually. The Xbox is more fingerprinty. The PlayStation's more of a dust magnet, so it's like one or the other. But again, there it is. That is the PlayStation 5. And as I close up this stream, I am going to go and hook this thing up and start playing around with the with the controller. Very excited about the DualSense controller. I think again, I think that's going to be like the big ace in the hole for Sony if there is one going forward. Thank you for stopping by. Don't go anywhere. We are going to raid. I'm told that Snowbike Mike is around, in which case we should definitely raid him. Let me just go see what's happening here. Hold on a second. I'm going to do this. Tell Mike. Yeah, you should tell Mike that you all just came from the PlayStation 5. Oh, he's playing Tetris Effect. Let's hit him up. Let's hit Mike. Let's give him a big raid. I love Mike to death. My kind of funny ex-cast blah, 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 co-host. Let's go raid him right now. If you, I will. I thought this was a fun video. I think maybe I'll put this on YouTube to see if anyone wants to watch it after the fact. I'm telling you, unboxing, man. Who fucking knew? It's the future. I'm gonna go raid Mike right now. I'll be in the chat briefly on the other side to hang out and say hello, and then I'm gonna go have some dinner. But let's go raid Mike. The raid is coming in right now. Let's get as many people over there as we can. Let's hit Mike with like a big raid. Thanks for coming by. I really enjoyed unboxing the PlayStation 5. That was fun chatting with all of you. Um, and we are about ready to go. This is gonna be a big fat raid. I will see you on the other side.